How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another Platinum journey. Today we are going to be platinuming Uncharted 2 Among Thieves, a continuation of Uncharted 1. This one sees Drake looking for the lost city of Shambhala, and of course it is Nathan Drake, so one can only imagine that it's going to end up with an ancient civilization being lost to history. So Uncharted 2 Among Thieves has 44 trophies, 45 if we are going to be including the Platinum, a difficulty rating of 5 out of 10. It's going to take us one playthrough, estimated to take us 15 hours. Here we go! Now, you're probably sat there wondering how exactly Nathan Drake has got himself into this mess. Unless you've played this game before, in which case you know exactly what's coming and what adventure we're about to partake on. However, in this instance, if you are new to this game, it's a long story and one that involves a lot of bad decisions from old Nathan Drake here, and an awful lot of train riding as well, let that be known. Our story begins in a bar in Istanbul where Nathan Drake is doing what he does best, getting himself in trouble while technically being unemployed. In walks Harry Flynn, a man whose trustworthiness is about as solid as Drake's employment history, and the wonderful and lovely Chloe Fraser, whom, if you enjoy the Uncharted series, I'm sure you'll know who she is. Another time warp and we end up back at the location of the train crash from the beginning of the game, because we're about to get our first trophy. By collecting the treasure here, we get the trophy First Treasure. And it's now time to begin the heist. What could go wrong? You've got Chloe Fraser, mastermind thief. Harry Flynn he's Harry Flynn. And most importantly, Nathan Drake, the master of everything and messing things up, but still somehow surviving.
Oh crap.
This part of the game requires us to make our way stealthily through the levels, taking down guards, doing some climbing, and ultimately just being a bit of a badass thief.
That's Jason Bourne.
And then it turns out that Harry Flynn's actually a bit of a scumbag. He had us do all the dirty work for him, all the climbing, the shooting of people, only to turn around at the end, put us at gunpoint, trigger the alarm, and mean that we get ourselves captured and thrown into a lovely rotting prison cell. After being captured in Turkey and thrown into prison, Nathan Drake seems to be getting on just fine. What does everyone think? To me, doesn't seem to be any issues here at all. There's only one person that can save us at this point in time, and it is Victor goddamn Sullivan himself, the man with the mighty mustache. It also turns out that Chloe helped Sully find Drake, and let's be honest, the last time we saw her, she was with the betrayer Harry Flynn. So let's keep her at arm's length. We then head to Borneo with Sully. At this point in the game, it's mostly fighting our way through this swamp and keeping an eye out for those all-important treasures that we're going to need for future trophies. Speaking of trophies, right on cue, we pick up the trophy Bare Knuckle Brawler for defeating 20 enemies with hand-to-hand combat. After fighting through lots of the jungle, Sully and Nate spots Harry Flynn, the traitor, with a man that Sully confirms to be Lazarevich. And let's be honest, this guy looks like an ultimate bad guy in most media. We also spot Chloe there, but we are aware that she is playing the role of a double agent. With Lazarevich and the rest of his goon squad gone, it's time for Nate to get in there and see what's going on. We do pick up a trophy though called New Paparazzi in Town for exploring the photo mode. We also pick up another trophy whilst clearing out the last of the enemies here. We get 20 headshots. So just simply killing 20 enemies with headshots. After taking out a couple of enemies and meeting back up with Chloe, the group, whilst exploring an underground ruin, find a map which confirms the next location we go into, and that is back to Nepal. But not before grabbing another treasure to give us another trophy called Novice Fortune Hunter for finding 20 treasures. Whilst Chloe heads off to distract Lazarevich and his men, Sully and Nate leave the ancient underground ruins. However, Chloe returns with Harry Flynn, the traitor. It's at this point in the game we learn that Chloe is pretty much a double agent after she dispatches the two guards meant to escort Sully and Nate. She passes Drake the dagger and leaves us to head to Nepal. A very rough start to life in Nepal as we're chased by a killer truck that seems demented and wanting to kill us. And it turns out that this place is a war zone. Things really do turn to utter when it's Nathan Drake. On the plus side, we get the strange relic to get the trophy relic finder. Oh, hey, look, it's Chloe.
Oh, is that an ancient Tibetan ritual dagger in your pocket?
Oh, maybe I'm just happy to see you.
A double agent as she saves us from being under fire from a truck. No doubt she'll sell us out before the end of this again though. Also, truck's my worst enemy here. We do pick up another trophy called Headshot Expert for killing 5 enemies in a row with headshots. We continue fighting our way through Nepal, and this gives us a good chance to start building up some weapon kills. So weapon kills, we're going to need lots of those to reach our platinum goal. The next one we're going to be picking up is 30 kills with the grenades right here. More fighting, and things are going far too smoothly. This is an Uncharted game after all. So you know what? The developers at Naughty Dog were like, let's throw a helicopter at them. And they also turned around and said, you know what? While they're fighting a helicopter, let's also throw a completely falling down building at them as well.
No! God, please, no!
We pick up another trophy here with 50 kills with the FAL. Now it's time to deal with the damn helicopter. You know when a fly keeps landing on you and you just want to swat it? It's exactly how this helicopter is making me feel, and it's time to blow it up. Well, this is a turn of events. We've actually bumped into Elena. Oh God. This is going to be awkward. Chloe's here. After some awkward conversation, including some really awkward comments.
Elena Fisher, last year's model.
That's cute. That escalated quickly.
With the niceties over, it's back on the treasure hunt. This time we enter a temple with a puzzle. And I'm not going to lie, guys, I'm pretty good at puzzles. So let's get this over with. Completion of the puzzle rewards us with the possible location of Shambhala. A quick mark on the map and we're out of here. And of course, they show up now. Bad guys never do the hard work, do they? However, taking down these bad guys does reward us with another trophy. We get a trophy for 100 headshots. Upon exiting the temple and dealing with the bad guys, we learn that Jeff has been shot and we need to get him somewhere safe. This part of the game has us leading him to safety whilst evading Lazarevich's men. Oh look, it's Chloe being triple, what are we, quadruple agent now? This time she holds us at gunpoint whilst, oh, not Harry Flynn, the traitor again. However, this time we come face to face with Lazarevich, who actually shoots Jeff. R.I.P. Jeff, you were a well-liked character. He departs and leaves us with Finn, who happens to take a bit of a sucker punch from Elaine, and we escape. After escaping, we pick up another trophy called Hangman, which is for killing 20 enemies with gunfire whilst hanging from a sign. Another trophy for 50 enemy kills with the pistol. And another one for finding 40 treasures called Intermediate Fortune Hunter. After finally getting through Nepal, Elena and Drake end up chasing Lazarevich's train down. And this begins one of the gaming's finest ever sequences and a complete masterpiece. I feel like even people that have never played this game, you can turn around and say the train sequence Uncharted 2 and they kind of have an inkling of what you're on about. That's how major this part of the game was and kind of what it did. On the train, we essentially move carriage to carriage fighting enemies, which means it's a good chance to get more weapon trophies. The first one of these being a bare knuckle slugger for defeating 50 enemies with hand-to-hand combat. We then get paid a visit by our favourite friend, Mr. Helicopter. He attempts to blow us up but ultimately misses and dispatches a part of the train that goes tumbling, and luckily there's a tunnel there, so yeah, we're safe. We get the trophy for 50 kills with another pistol. Towards the end of the train, we meet the quadruple agent Chloe again, whom once again is pointing a gun at us. And then Harry Flynn, the traitor, shows up and yeah, he shoots us. I thought we were good friends. I didn't think it'd take it this far. Drake, bleeding out and about to be swamped by men, has no choice but to blow up the train. And then voila, we're full circle and welcome back to the intro of the game, guys. Now, I'm not going to make you go through the intro again, but Drake wakes up in this person's house. We don't know currently who he is, but let it be known that eventually we'll become very fond of him. It also turns out that somehow Elena's found us in this village on the top of the mountains in the middle of nowhere. If anyone needs an investigator, I'm sure she could do a terrific job based on that. We then get introduced to Carl Schaefer, who seems to be a bit of a monk style character now who lives in the mountains in this village. He actually explains that he once led an expedition to find Shambhala. He explains what the expedition was doing and he gives us a location to head out to. Drake, alongside Tenzin, heads out into the mountains. At this point in the game, guys, we're pretty much just exploring, collecting a couple of treasures. And just when you're getting used to the quiet of the snowy mountains, a Yeti shows up to remind us that peace and Uncharted do not mix at all.
The abominable snowman.
Once we've dealt with the Yeti, we get a trophy called Proficient Fortune Hunter for finding 60 treasures. We then continue exploring with Tenzin and we come upon Carl Schaefer's party, the expedition. We realise that they all actually have bullet holes in them, which isn't a good sign, but also it could be indicative of the fact that the only way Carl could stop them was by killing them. So ultimately a sacrifice, but one that he had to make. We then get chased out of the location once again by the Yetis on this elevator thing, and we're nearly there when, yep, it was too quiet for Uncharted once again, and the Yeti jumps onto the elevator. At this point we have to blast the absolute living out of him until he drops, and then we're home free. Once out of the ruins though, we see that the village is on fire and under attack. At the village we catch up with Elena, who tells us that they've taken Carl Schaefer and that it is Lazarevich's men. At this point in the game, we fight through the village clearing out the men. We get introduced to a couple of new guns. We pick up the trophy for 20 kills with the pistole, the shotgun little pistol thing. And we also pick up the trophy 50 kills with the M4. So at this point, we're just chilling on the balcony looking out for Carl Schaefer, me and Tenzin, who's now my best boy. When, yes, of course, they brought a tank. They always have to bring a helicopter, a tank. One day it'll be a submarine. Once the tank has been taken care of, it's time to try and catch up to Lazarevich and Schaefer. However, upon leaving the walls, we find out that they've actually got into a vehicle and driven away from him. And that is when the car chase begins. And Elena's driving, so good luck. This sequence does give us a chance to get a trophy. We get the trophy Dynamite Master for killing 5 enemies with explosion. Once the chase is over, we see Lazarevich with Schaefer, and they also have the dagger, which is a completely bad news story. At this point, we make our way through the ruins trying to catch up to them. We pick up another trophy here with 50 kills with the Dragon Sniper. We do catch up to Schaefer as he takes his final bow. And Drake, you can't help but realise that being around him seems to be the fastest way to meet ancient treasures or an early grave. Another trophy here for our collection for collecting 80 treasures, giving us Expert Fortune Hunter. We pick up another trophy here called a Master Ninja for killing 50 enemies by melee attacking from behind and not in that way. And then straight after we get another one for 250 headshots. It's a complete trophy bonanza at the moment. We get another one for 30 kills with the RPG. We then return to the story. There's no more trophies now, guys, until we reach the end of the game. Drake believes he's found the entrance to Shambhala. And of course, the bad guys show up. Honestly, they'd make me do all the legwork for them. I need to start charging. Imagine how rich I'd be. I wouldn't need all this treasure if I was charging for this. Oh, and it's Lazarevich. Great. The rest of the gang join us, and Lazarevich tells Harry to take me and try and solve things because, of course, Harry Flynn couldn't solve it without me. And Lazarevich is a bad guy that makes me do all the legwork. Otherwise, they're going to shoot Chloe and Elena. Yes, Chloe, you heard correctly. After making our way through the caverns, we eventually come upon what we believe is the official entrance. It required us to do this little puzzle. Once the puzzle's complete, it's the return of the abominable snowman slash yeti slash goat people things. I don't know what to call them.
The abominable snowman.
They attack Harry Flynn and Drake. Harry Flynn kindly lends us a gun. We end up becoming under heavy attack from all of them. Drake gets tackled to the ground, and who knows what's going to happen. In fact, you know what, I'll let you know. The bad guy shows up. Lazarevich actually saves us. In all honesty, he probably saved us because he thought, I ain't dealing with Harry Flynn, I need Drake instead. At this point in the game, pulls a 13th warrior. Props if you ever seen that movie. We learned that they are actually guardians, and they're actually men. In a sense, there is something magical, mystical going on here. And then lo and behold, everybody, the entrance to Shambhala. One more for Drake to add to his collection. We all enter into Shambhala, where Lazarevich basically says, right, your time's up, we're going to kill you. Luckily, the Guardians are there to attack everyone, and it gives us a chance to escape. At this point in the game, it becomes an absolute pain. We quickly escape from Lazarevich's men, but that is no longer our main issue. Our main issue is going to be the Guardian people, because let me tell you something. They are some very difficult enemies, everyone. They take a lot of bullets. The best way to kill them is to use the crossbow. At this point in the game, Elena and Drake are trying to convince Chloe to go save the world, which she agrees to. And then, like I said, we come under attack from these guys. And it takes quite a bit to kill them. This actually took a couple of attempts, especially on crushing difficulty. Drake then realizes while standing in the ruins that it's not actually a stone. It turns out that the thing that everybody is after is the sap from the Tree of Life. Yes, guys, we're now introduced that the Tree of Life is in Shambhala. And everybody wants access to it, of course. After the realization that it is actually the sap that they're after and not the stone, the group come upon Harry Flynn, who seems to have finally met his end with multiple bullet wounds and things in him. Elena tries to convince him to become a good guy. It's not going to work, Elena. I've known him too well. He is a complete and utter traitor. He ends up pulling up a grenade, which he's released the pin of, and blows us up, and Elena at the front takes the brunt of all that damage. And at this point in the game, it is pretty much an escort mission. The main goal is to clear the way to make the route safe for Chloe and Elena. The game throws a lot of enemies at you at this point, but they also give you a lot of guns, which is also a tendency sign we're coming to the end of the game. Once they've got Elena to safety, Drake realizes that he does need to go and stop Lazarevich. Eventually, we do catch up to Lazarevich and his men, and they are indeed at the tree as Lazarevich takes a drink of it, which is a bad news story for everyone involved. Me particularly, because he is a pain in the ass on crushing difficulty. And if anyone has ever played this game on crushing difficulty and achieved this, you know exactly how I feel for the next hour. So please feel sorry for me at this point. So the way that we beat Lazarevich is the sap there that you just saw me shoot. Essentially, that stuff explodes. What we need to do is wait till he's just close enough to it so that it damages him. We need to do this multiple times, and eventually it will take him down. I think it takes about 3 or 4 shooting those and damaging him. We also have some different phases, and phases where he starts throwing grenades at us and everything. It does get quite chaotic, which is why it's so difficult on Christian difficulty. I'm telling you now, at some points he throws like 6 grenades at you, and you've got to try and dodge them all while he's shooting at you. Explosions. But eventually, once you have given him enough damage, you do take him down. At this point, the Guardians arrive, and Drake leaves Lazarevich to the Guardians.
Maybe not. But they do.
And once again, another ancient civilization has been destroyed because... oh, no, it's not really his fault, but you know what I mean. Every time Nathan Drake's around, an ancient civilization gets lost to history. In this case, we quickly escape as the entire structure comes falling down. We catch up to Chloe and Elena is not in good shape at all. Can't get to safety quick enough, and Elena seems to pass away. We then jump forward in what seems to be a couple of hours or so, where Chloe and Drake are having a conversation where Chloe turns around and says, "Do you love her?" Now, if you've not played this game before, you'll be thinking, hold on a minute. You talking about a dead person right now? No, this is Nathan Drake. This is a happy story. Look, she's alive, everyone, and now they're going to live a happy relationship. And nothing can ever go wrong again. Drake's going to retire. We're not going to have any more games, you know? Also, Sully, where the blooming hell have you been? You suddenly decide to turn up now. It's all over. I know you're aging, mate, but you're good to have in a dangerous situation. And that does bring a close to the story chapter. We get the trophy for crushing difficulty. Gonna get lots of trophies here, guys. We get the trophy for the hard difficulty. These are the last of the campaign related stories. We pick up the trophy for normal difficulty. And of course, we're also going to be picking up the trophy for the easy difficulty. Once that pops up, please move. New milestone reached. There we go. As you can see, the easy difficulty trophy as well. We now have a couple of trophies left to go, guys. These ones are going to be quick and fast. If you ever watched any of my videos, you know the last ones we do the wrap up. We get the trophy Grenade Hangman for killing 10 enemies while hanging. We pick up another trophy here for 30 kills with the Wes 44 pistol. Then we pick up another trophy with 30 kills with the Moss 12 shotgun. We also pick up the trophy Run and Gunner for killing 20 enemies while shooting from the hip. We pick up the trophy Bare Knuckle Expert for 10 enemies in a row with hand-to-hand combat. We pick up the trophy Steel Fist Master for killing 20 enemies with a single punch after shooting them first. Weirdly enough, we also get Steel Fist Expert after the Master one. Doesn't make any sense to me because it's the same thing. But hey ho, I'll take it. It's another trophy. We then get the trophy Master Fortune Hunter for finding 100 treasures. And then we get the trophy Desert 5, 30 kills with the Desert Eagle. We then pick up the trophy 50 kills with the SAS-12, the other shotgun. We then also pick up the trophy 50 kills with the M32 hammer grenade launcher. We then move on to the speedrunning section. So the first one we need to beat is Staying Dry in Chapter 3. We need to beat this in less than 6 minutes 30 seconds. We pick up the trophy Staying Dry for doing this by finishing that under that time. The next one we need to do is Quick Jaunt Through a War Zone, which is beating Chapter 5 in less than 7 minutes and 30 seconds. We managed to achieve that for Quick Jaunt Through a War Zone, finishing that in under the timer, and that's another trophy. The final one, of course, is going to be the Bullet Train from Hell. Of course, they're going to do a speedrun on this section. Needs to be finished in less than 7 minutes, everybody. And of course, we get that all nice and wrapped up for the trophy Bullet Train from Hell, finishing that in under 7 minutes. Couple more trophies to go. The next trophy we pick up is Survivor for killing 75 enemies in a row without dying across Chapter 4 and 5. And then we get the final trophy, guys, for Master Thief Collection. Find all the treasures and strange relic. And that is the final trophy that we needed to unlock the Platinum Trophy. We've done it, everybody. All trophies unlocked in Uncharted 2.